What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? My name is Brandon, the franchise tech, alongside my tag team partner, Mr. Bishop himself, and this is KC Sports with Bishop and Franchise. It is August 5 of 2024, and we have got a great show today. I'm rocking out my chief gimmick with the necklace on tap from Miss Jody herself, alongside Bishop, my man, just chilling like a villain, doing his thing over on the Missouri side of Kansas City. Man, Bishop, what is going on, bro?
Oh, man, nothing much, man. Nothing much. Getting the week started. The weekend was pretty fair. Dealing with this heat here over in Kansas City, you know. Just ready to get this show rolling. We get football this week. I'm excited.
Man, I'm so pumped. I am so pumped, bro. But first and foremost, before we talk too much about it, we got to talk about our gimmicks here. So follow us on the Twitter, on the Gram, on the Book of Face, on the TikTok, IE Sports Radio, as well as follow us on, for all your podcast needs, on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all that good jazz right there. Go to our direct feed, iesportsradio.com. Get yourself some merch. Rock out the IE Sports Network merch with iesportsradio.com/merch, as well as go follow us direct at iesportsradio.com/This is KC Sports. Now, of course, on the Twitter, you can follow us on This is KC_IESR. You can follow myself at Real Franchise, and then follow my boy Bishop at XRunners with a Z. And of course, the people that keep our lights moving and running, Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as talk about Seal the Deal Wax Seals. So these are the people that are keeping us rolling and running. I mean, this is great. Bishop, man, let me tell you something. After Thursday, I was so happy with the fact that the Midwest humidity went down just a little bit. I think we were sporting at like 70s for the low. So needless to say, I know you can't see it right now because I'm kind of in a shady environment, at least for the people that are watching this right now. But the fact of the matter is, your boy was sweating like he just got out of the shower. Like, that was some heat.
It's been disgusting out there, man. It's been disgusting. A shout out to Jody. She's in the chat. Shout out to Terry Rodriguez, the host of Set Point, and shout out to my homegirl Jim B, the host of the Show of the Land up there in Cleveland. She got all the Browns information you can handle.
Absolutely.
I wonder Jim B, how's it going? How's training camp going for those Browns?
Hopefully so. Hopefully they do good. You know, there was a moment during the NFL days, or I say days, excuse me. There was a moment during the time that it wasn't too far away from the tree that the Cleveland Browns was actually looking like a very fearful team. But then, you know, stuff happened, whatever. It's a business, it's whatever. But the fact of the matter is this. When it comes to threats in this upcoming NFL season, that is going to be a big time topic. And on top of topics, I'm going to take a pause right here because your boy needs to drink some water because I'm already parched as is. And with that being said, we are going to take a word from the people that keep our lights on, Bishop. And we got to keep our lights on because, boy, howdy, your boy is not dealing with any type of life whatsoever. But I'll tell you this, folks, stick around just a quick second. We're going to pay our bills really quick, and then we will be right back talking about the Chiefs, talking about the Royals, talking about sporting, talking about current, all that good jazz. Stick around right here. This is KC Sports right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, Single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This is KC Sports, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. You can follow us on the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at IESportsRadio.com. Follow us on anything podcast available, Apple Podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, all that good jazz. Go and follow us or hit us on the direct at IESportsRadio.com/KC Sports. Follow us on the Twitter. This is KC_IESR. Follow your boy at Real Franchise, and then follow my man, X Runners with a Z. Of course, we have to show appreciation to Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Bishop, we have a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
I'm going to tell you, I posted a teaser on the Twitter. Your boy has been up. I did the math. I'm not good at math, but I did the math. I've been up for 32 hours, and this boy is still rocking out the Kansas City Chiefs chain, and we're going to have a great show today. I told them, if you saw, I know you did, how wacky is the franchise going to be? Brandon, the franchise buck, is going to be a little bit wacky today, but that's all good and well because that just means entertainment. That means ratings, right? So, with that being said, my man, I know we're getting ready to talk about the Chiefs camp, but we have breaking news, which I teased on the Twitter. Harrison Butker, Mr. Controversial himself, Mr. Best Leg in the NFL, just signed an extension for 4 years. What do you think?
I like it, man. Well deserved, despite the controversy and all that stuff. Or, well, I shouldn't say despite controversy, because it's only controversy towards people who disagree with what he said. But despite all that, the man does his job every season. He go out there, he put up a bunch of extra points, field goal attempts, the 3 points, whatever. Mr. Butker does his job. I'm happy that he get, his props. I'm happy to see the Chiefs, pay their people. So hopefully
100%.
Huh?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. Hopefully we have, because that was one of my biggest fears for the longest, is that at the rate that we're winning Super Bowls, that hey, we can almost win Super Bowls with anybody. So we was going to become a revolving door, and I'm like, I hope that doesn't happen for player, a revolving door for players. So yeah, I'm happy that they paying people. Um, yeah, what is it? What is it? 26.5 million. He's now the highest paid kicker. That carries about roughly 18 million guaranteed monies. He passes Jake Elliott and Justin Tucker, roughly about $6 million a year, which who knows how long that's going to last. He's the highest paid kicker right now, but it seems like teams these days are more in competition of paying, having the highest paid players versus winning Super Bowls. So, yeah.
100%. 100%. And I tell you what, um, the fact of the matter is first and foremost, thank you so much for everybody interacting with our chat room right now, live off of YouTube and whatnot. Please say your thoughts. Interact with us. I promise you that Bishop and I will be interacting with y'all, depending on the topics, or even if we have to backtrack, whatever. Here's my opinion on this, Bishop. You know, I get, and again, we talked about this like 3 shows earlier, or whatever the case may be. I get that we're hitting a dead horse with a stick here. Okay, everybody's like, "Oh my God, Harrison Butker said this and this and this and yada yada," and he basically said that wives need to be stay-at-home moms and let the men work. And who cares? Let me rephrase that because I know I'm going to get canceled right now. Hi, five episodes and the franchise gets canceled. Fancy that! They knew who they hired.
Hold on. The views and opinions expressed by the franchise is running on 36 hours of no sleep.
let's just
Does not
make that a
reflect the
point.
views and opinions of IE Sports Radio now.
let's just cut to the chase. Your boy has been up for about 30 something hours. I don't even know what today it is. I know it ends in Y. That's all I know. But here's the thing. Harrison Butker said some things that probably could have been explained a little bit more, but obviously he couldn't because of the graduation gimmick and whatever. Um, but let's not take away where credit is due. Harrison Butker is by far the best field goal kicker in the NFL, and I am thankful at the fact that he's a part of the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm biased. I know this is Kansas City sports, but still, I'm biased. I'm biased at the fact that he came in clutch. He missed a couple of field goals and what have you last season. It doesn't matter because the end all be all is the Kansas City Chiefs became the Super Bowl champion. So, with that being said, let's fast forward just a little bit before we talk about camp. Um, all eyes are on Kansas City. If you were talking to me back in the Montana days, I would have said like, no, there's no way, absolutely not. But here we are. Here we are, 2024, and you got Butker, you got Kelsey, you got Jones, you got Pacheco, you got uh, Xavier, you got Rasheed, you got Patrick, and all that jazz. And she's like, this is almost like back in the day. And I know you don't watch, but I know this has been like back in the day, like the USA basketball team. Like this is All Stars. This is like the All Madden team in a
Oh yeah,
sense.
92 Dream Team, whatever.
Yep,
Yeah.
the Dream Team. Absolutely. I still remember those basketballs from like Burger King or McDonald's, wherever it came from, Pizza Hut, wherever it came from. But I mean, look at what we have right now, and look at what we're building with this camp. Which, by the way, training camp for the public is ending very, very, very quickly. Unless you're a season ticket holder, you're not going to be behind St. Joe at Missouri Western. So, spoiler alert on that. Um, Bishop, we get long story short, without rambling. Long story short, despite all the politics, I'm happy that Butker is doing his business. He got paid. He got signed for 4 more years, and if this is the end of the Chicago Bulls drill team or dream team, here in 4 or 5 years, whatever, especially with Kelsey and Patrick and this and that. So be it. I was happy to be alive to see all of this greatness. Now, moving forward, let's talk a little bit about training camp. First and foremost, for those of you who have actually gone to training camp and seen the boys do their thing and this and that, God bless you. Because let me tell you, being in a patrol car for 8 hours, even with the AC on, that humidity you don't mess with at all. So being without AC and just drinking your water and just trying your best to remember to bring like an umbrella or shade or what have you. Oh, goodness gracious! But you know, we got to talk about training camp because training camp went back on by on Sunday, so yesterday. A lighter 10 on 10 on 10 session. This was the 12th of 19th public sessions on the practice field next to Missouri Western's Spratt Stadium, which I know very well, being a Pitt State Gorilla alumni here. 6 of the remaining practices are left. However, there's like 2 or 3 that are just season ticket holders anyway. So, what's today? The 5th. So yesterday was the last day for public visitation with training camp. Now it's either just the team or you have to be a season ticket holder, which you can check that out online. But over at Arrowhead Pride, the dude Ron Kopp at Ron_Kopp said a couple of things. So there is a focus on misdirection and play action today, meaning today, or yesterday's, or yeah, no, not yeah, yesterday. Excuse me. 15 worked a lot of under center run actions, booting out of them and hitting drags and crosses. So, with that being said, they're trying to work the center. They're trying to work different game plans. They're trying to do maybe some trick plays, but realistically, I think the trick plays are just for fun. So they're trying to look forward to what's coming up next week for the first preseason game. He also said Ron at Ron_Kopp, KOPP. There was also a lot of work on the screen game to go with that naturally. Quote unquote, Isaiah Pacheco was unsurprisingly the lead back, but Deneric Prince continued to work in with Mahomes and company. Now, without regurgitating words and this and that, what do you think so far, just by Mr. Kopp's statements?
Yeah. No, that sounds like you said. It sounds like they're like, or what, like he said. It sounds like they're working on a lot of in the center of the field plays. I did see a play where Mahomes threw it to Kelsey, and Kelsey flicked it back to Pacheco, which was very interesting to see that. So I know we feel like a lot of those plays are probably just entertainment for the public, but I guarantee a lot of that stuff is going to show up in these games. You might see it in preseason Saturday. Andy Reid definitely taking notes, man. So yeah, dude, training camp has been awesome. First off, like I said, I shouted out Jim B, hosted the Show of the Land, Cleveland Browns. She covered a lot of those, and I asked her how they training camp was going, and she said couple minor injuries and all that good stuff. But other than that, it feels like John Watson is looking pretty good. So that's cool. That's cool. But back on our stuff, yeah, it's been a little spicy. Training camp got a little spicy today. We had I don't know what happened, but all I know is Rashee Rice threw a ball at someone's helmet. That's all I know. Well, and then he threw up on the sideline. So,
I saw
so
that.
there was a little altercation there. It was at Jack Cochran's helmet. There was a little controversy. I mean, a little altercation and some testosterone building up. And so he caught the ball. I guess I don't know what happened, but he threw the ball at Jack Cochran's helmet. Jack Cochran pushed him. Next thing you know, Rasheed Rice is on the sideline throwing up. Last time Rasheed Rice threw up at training camp, we won the Super Bowl. So maybe that's the early signs of the three-peat is going to happen, or I don't know. But training camp got a little spicy today.
I'm telling you, first off, Rice was just like, I don't mind the hard work. I'm paraphrasing. But it also shows to me from a former athlete, now granted it was wrestling, because for our newer viewers and listeners and what have you, once upon a time in a faraway land, when I went to Olathe North, I was 2 grades lower than the great Darren Sproles. And if anybody, especially our age group, has ever seen the movie Varsity Blues, I was James Vanderbeek on the sidelines reading his comic book while Paul Walker was playing quarterback. That was Darren to me. So then when Darren moved on by to Olathe North, and I was still at Orkin Trail, Coach asked me, hey, are you planning on doing football? I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And he's like, why? He's like, because Darren's playing. I'm just going to be riding the bench. So I became an amateur wrestler for Olathe North. But beside the point, everything that I learned from Darren when I was doing running back and this and that, I learned that no matter what, the sweat, the bruises, the banged up body, the tears, the for lack of a better term, the vomit, it's just weakness leaving the body. So with Rashid just doing that, especially after from what was it, March up until this point with his gimmicks down in Dallas and what have you, it shows to me that he is dedicated to do the absolute best and the absolute necessary to be the number one wide receiver, if that even is the case, but then B, to be the guy that actually makes the quote unquote main roster. Now, granted, I'm talking wrestling terms here. I know different podcasts, different time, whatever, whatever. But the fact of the matter is this: every professional wrestler in the independent leagues, if they want to make it to the big leagues, they have to earn their keep. They have to keep busting and doing this and that. Eventually, maybe if they're good enough, they get signed to the team, aka like NXT or TNA or AEW, whatever, whatever. But if you want to make it to the main roster, you want to make it to the television every week and this and that, you have to bust your know what, and you have to do the work. You have to. And I think, honestly, that's what Rasheed is doing. And so I'm not against the fact that it might be a little bit spicy. I'm not against the fact that, he's doing this and that, and he might be
Yeah.
vomiting or whatever the case. It shows work and
Oh yeah,
dedication to me.
definitely. I 100% agree. 100%.
For sure. For sure. Um, Let me tell you, the last bit because we've talked a lot about
Yeah.
Kansas City, which is great, because I'm rocking
Yeah.
you know the nice gimmick from Miss Jody. Um, I know she appreciates that. Um, Let me tell you, what can you say about this upcoming preseason game? What do you expect?
I
Do you
mean,
expect to see Mahomes throw one pass and then just be done, and go for a second, third, and fourth roster, or string, or what are you
I
thinking?
think I think he may. I think Mahomes may come in for a quarter,
Sure,
maybe. He likes to get hit a couple times so he can get back into the swing of things. That's what he always says. I like to get hit a few times and then so I can remember how it felt, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good. So he
for
may
sure.
come in probably for a few minutes, probably a couple plays. He may play the whole quarter, and then of course we know everybody's going to come out. Ralph Khalif says, like I've been saying, the 2 words, training camp. That's what it's all about. A bunch of players in training camp. I agree, Ralph. Um, Shout out to Ralph. He is the host of the Yinzer Report here at IE Sports Radio. My guy, he's a good guy, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Can't wait to see you on Christmas. Um, Chiefs versus Pittsburgh. Um, but yeah, that you know, I agree. However, before we switch up, I do have to call out Larry B real quick because a lot of things has happened. I think since the last show, really. We got the swagger. Um, Miss Jody, shout out Jody for president. Um,
Jody's president.
the whole Raiders and the puppet mimicking
Oh,
Mahomes. You
yes,
know,
go with that because I forgot about that. I can't believe I forgot about that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
that's okay. That's all right. So I know Larry B probably, and it was. I'll be honest, it was a little funny. I mean, me being biased, like you said, this is Kansas City, we represent Kansas City. I was a little triggered, but now I was like, it is kind of funny. However, you guys poke the bear. Mahomes is going to scorch the earth. And then Mahomes get disrespected by getting ranked number 4
Mm.
overall best player in the NFL. I'm like, dude, what do you guys want him to like? What do you want him to do to the league? Because that's just plain. And then you rank Lamar Jackson over him. I'm like, come on, yeah, are y'all really? I feel like the NFL is trying to set this up. They want that three-peat so bad. They want Mahomes to go out there and leave it all on the field and just walk away victorious. We already had the cracked helmet. Next thing you know, we probably gonna have the half ripped jersey or something like that. So, with all that being said, something else was going on in training camp for the past 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
The past 2 days, be looking like what? So the Raiders had the puppet, and we had John Gruden decked out in Chiefs gear.
What's up?
So I mean, is
I'm
that Andy? I know him and Andy Reid are friends. They used to coach back in Green Bay and all that stuff. But is that Andy? Because I know Andy Reid can be petty. So everybody say Mahomes, you're gonna get petty Mahomes and all that. Is that Andy Reid's response to the whole puppet at the Raiders training camp? Was to have John Gruden at the Chiefs training camp for the past 2 days, draped in Chiefs gear.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing on that. I loved, love, love, love. Actually, no, I didn't. Here's the thing. Every season, there's always some sort of a guest. So, like I had said, well, no, excuse me. Behind the scenes, I had mentioned Michael Vick back in the day when he stopped by Kansas City Chiefs training camp. Now we got John Gruden. You have two guys, okay? You have two guys, especially during Gruden's time with the Buccaneers, two geniuses. Now, granted, we have Andy Reid, and that's fine. That's great. We already know everything about Andy Reid. But the fact of the matter is, you take that and you bring in John Gruden, not only because of his knowledge throughout his football career with the Buccaneers and with the Raiders and what have you, but then on top of that, let me tell you, I can't say this on the air. Despite the fact on Spreaker it says that our show is expletive, they knew I'm going to blame Taryn Rodriguez. He knew that I was coming back, so he was ready for that expletive. He knew it. But shout out to Taryn. But the Raiders' Twitter is melting right now because of the fact that Gruden was at training camp. And that is absolutely, as a diehard Chiefs fan, just like you, that is an absolute treasure to watch because of the hatred from what? And production truck, Larry, you might be able to vouch this. 1960, 1970 was when originally the Raiders and Chiefs just absolutely hated each other and whatnot. So, I mean, to see that now in 2024 with Gruden, even though he's just making an appearance, probably just, talking the gimmick with Andy Reid and this and that, whatever. Man, that's something. On top of the puppet gimmick, and of course, Patrick says, we'll deal with it when we deal with it. And then the three-peat, no pun intended, the three-peat was the NFL decided that he was going to be number 4 in the entire league. Rest in peace, NFL, because y'all done some. Y'all done something. We're not going to see Patrick Mahomes this season. We're going to see a beast who showed up periodically throughout his tenure with the Kansas City Chiefs. And that, my friend, is Patrick LaVon Mahomes. And that is a totally different monster right there. Bible. You can't see it because of the shade, but on the cross tattooed on my forearm, business is about to pick up.
There we go. You want to take a quick break real quick?
I believe so because I am parched and I lost track of time. Folks, we are going to be right back. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. We're going to pay our sponsors here, as well as we're going to be talking about the Royals and the Kansas City, or the Sporting KC, as well as we are going to be talking about the Kansas City Current. And man, we got some notes on that too. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages, my name is Franchise. His name is Bishop. We'll be right back. This is KC Sports right here on ICE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you at the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
What's up, everybody? This is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is KC Sports with Bishop and the Franchise right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Now, let's talk a little bit really quick. Follow us on the Twitter, on the Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at IESportsRadio.com. Follow us, of course, on anything podcast available, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that good jazz. Follow us as well. Direct straight up IESportsRadio.com/this is KC Sports, as well as follow us on our official Twitter. This is KC_IESR. Follow your boy at Real Franchise. Follow my man at XRunners with a Z. Of course, one side of the table, pay our respects to Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's go ahead. We talked a lot about the Kansas City Chiefs, which is great. I love the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, look at this. I mean, for our new viewers, you know, I'm sporting out my Flavor Flav chain for Miss Jody, of course. Thank you so much. so much. But now we have to move forward and talk about the boys in blue. Royals continue the White Sox tragedy. They're going on like a 20-loss record gimmick. 8-5, 4-3, and putting the nail in the coffin with a 10-3 series. Now that was Chicago. Okay. Now let's move a little bit forward here. We're going to talk about the Royals went 2-3 against Detroit Tigers with a 7-1 win. A 9-2, but the Tigers came on by and win Saturday with a 6-5. But the end all be all, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like in the professional wrestling business. It doesn't matter how you do it. As long as you get that W, that's all that matters. The Royals cap off with a 3-2 cap the series. And then tonight, the boys are taking on Boston. The Boston Red Sox.
Boston.
What do you think so far? I mean, we talked about this, and we had some other people talk about this in the chat room. If you're watching this live, interact with us on our YouTube channel. Please say something. Make it clean, for the love of Christ. Make it clean. But interact with us. Let us know what your thoughts are about the Royals. And then, of course, we're talking about Sporting KC and KC Current, which we have a lot to talk about with the Current. But beside the fact, let's talk about the Royals here. Okay? They beat Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Or, excuse me, they beat Chicago White Sox, which we all talked about for like the last 2 weeks, how they're not there. And sure enough, we're just continuing their tragedy. Now we take on Detroit. Other than one game loss, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Now we're taking on the big bombers here. Boston Red Sox. What do you think?
Ready for him. I wish my man Mikey Two Guns was here because he's a Boston fan. They be talking that Boston mess. Like I said, same thing I say about some of these other teams. Oakland, Chicago, even Chicago. I know we just, we won the series the 3-game series 2-1, but that was against Detroit. But anyway, whatever. Even Detroit. Okay, let's just say that. But Boston is currently sitting at 59-51. We're 63-50. Boston got some sluggers on their team. And like I said, I don't take that kind of stuff for granted, man. You got, Duran, Devers, Wong, Rafaela. They got some hitters. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It could go either way. We got Brady Singer on the mound tonight. It could go either way. They got James Paxton. He's a left-hand pitcher. His ERA is 4.5. We should probably take this game tonight against Boston. We should take this game. Look like we got a lot of righties in the lineup, so we should probably clear tonight. It's probably going to be kind of tough because, like I said, they got some hitters over there in Boston.
100%. 100%. I guess when you grow up and you're playing the MLB, video games back in the day, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Genesis, Xbox, whatever. You grow up and you realize like it was during the Ken Griffey Jr. Super Nintendo game that I learned about the Big Green. And so I take that and I take like the movies and this and that. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a humongous Angels in the Outfield fan. So when they started playing that in 2015, whenever the Royals did a home run or whatever the case, I was like, oh, tears. But you learn about the Big Green. You learn about this and that, and the players that were there at said time up until this point. I hear Boston Red Sox, I'm just like, oh crap, here we go. I do the same thing with the New York Yankees for obvious reasons. I mean, Babe Ruth. I mean, what's up? No matter what they're doing that season, I hear that name. I'm just like, oh, this is the big leagues. This is like John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 20 and 29. Like, this is like, you know. So with Boston, um, I don't know. Like, again, just to piggyback off of you, it could go either way. It could go either way. For those of you who are viewing, tell us your piece that are watching this on YouTube. We would love to hear it. We would love to interact with you. Bishop, just I guess final thoughts. Like, what do you think? Like, it's Boston. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, like I said, we should definitely be able to take tonight. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to sweep Boston in this, but we should definitely be able to. Okay, we should definitely. Sorry, I was getting word from a producer. We should definitely be able to sweep or beat them tonight, and then I don't know who's on the mound for them tomorrow. Of course, obviously not. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends on which Royal teams show up. That's the thing. Like, that's what frustrates me about the Royals. I know we're hot right now, and we're definitely on pace to make the postseason. We're doing good, doing great. But damn it, it's just some games I'm like, why did we lose? Same with the Chiefs. Why did we lose that game? You know what I'm saying? Like, we shouldn't have lost that game. So it just depends on who shows up. Um, so I guess we got a new host up in Boston. D Dortch, is that how you say it? So shout out to D Dortch. He's the Boston guy now. So yeah, if he was listening, we're gonna kick you out. No, I'm just kidding. He would know. He know that they got some sluggers. Their pitchers aren't the best, but they got some hitters, man. And like I said, I'm not going to downplay any team that we face because we don't know which one of our teams is going to show up. We don't know which Royal we're going to get. So
Correct.
Oh, and I guess they got Bello on the mound for him tomorrow. He's not a bad pitcher. I mean, his ERA is 5.13, but he got 103 strikeouts, so he's not a bad pitcher. So supposed to be Bello versus Seth Lugo tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I mean, that should be another win. That should be
It
another
should.
win. So we probably will sweep them, man.
We'll see
Yeah,
what
then you got
happens.
Cole Reagans so far. So yeah. Hell, I'm gonna go out on a limb. We're gonna sweep Boston.
We'll see what happens. We'll see. Cross our fingers. I've seen some weird stuff. So I mean, we'll see what happens here. Now, these last two topics of discussion. The first one's going to be short, and I hate to say that. I really hate to say that. But then actually looking at what we're getting ready to talk about, you've said this the last 5 episodes. You're completely right. Ladies and gentlemen, Sporting KC, 12th in the club with 6 wins, 14 losses, 6 ties. 8 p.m. against Toluca in the League Cup, and then August 24 against Orlando City, August 27 Open Cup semi against Indy 11. Bishop, I know we're supposed to be not, well, excuse me, we can be biased to a certain extent, but this is just, what are we doing? Can we just take snippets or whatever what you said like the last 5 weeks? Like we need to just toss it in the trash and just say forget this year and then go on by and work on next year because yo.
Yeah, like Sporting KC is they have a very weird thing going on right now. Like you said, they're playing in the little League Cup right now or whatever. They're winning. They're not winning by much. They still not showing much offense, but they're winning in the League Cup. They currently in 12th place. I think, if I recall, last season, I think all they had to do was reach number 8 in 8th place, and they snuck into the playoffs. I don't know if that's going to be the case this season. I mean, they still have a few games left, to where it could happen if that's what it takes for them to get in the eighth place, then it could happen. But yeah, it's so weird. Like I said, I swear, dude, I know I've said it before. I know I said it several shows. Something's wrong at Children's Mercy Park, dude. Because and now I'm gonna line this up. Hold up, follow me. Before we're not gonna switch over, but Sporting KC is failing this season. KC Current is succeeding this season. KC Current lost their last game, Orlando Pride. They lost, and they haven't lost since. And they're playing in that summer league, Liga, um, whatever. And they haven't lost since losing to Orlando Pride. And they've
Correct.
been winning by March, like 4-0, 3-1. You know, their offense is better than Sporting KC offense, which is odd as hell. But yeah, Sporting KC, I don't get it. I don't know. Like I said, I think if you're in eighth place, you may be able to sneak into the playoffs. If they can, maybe we get another run like they had last season where they squeaked into the playoffs and they went on a run.
You never know. You never know with that. But on top of soccer, let's go ahead and just segue on over to the women's deal. First and foremost, thank you so much for everybody that is watching the show on YouTube. There's, at least on my count, there's about 66 people. Thank you so much. Please interact with us. You know, say your highs. You know, let us know where you're from. If you're not from the Kansas City area, we would love to hear from you. And you know, Bishop and I, we love to talk. That's why we do this thing. I can tell you this. I know that last week I talked about Richard Harper, aka Teal Guy. You know, you had mentioned to him, like you had an interest of bringing him onto the show. I personally talked to him this last week. He was flying back from Montreal to Kansas City. Exactly what the gimmick is on that, I don't know, but I'll just let the dude tell his business and then we'll broadcast it. But the fact of the matter is this. Talk to Richard, and he is definitely checking out his schedule, seeing how it works, because you know, I mean, we might be off work, this and that, but it's a weird week. It's a weird week or work week for me because I'm doing a different shift than what I typically do when I'm an officer. But the fact of the matter is, Teal Guy, Richard Harper, my fraternity brother back in the day, he is definitely trying to figure out schedule. We will see if we can't get an interview with him, just figuring out, like, you know, what's his story and what made him into a super fan with the Kansas City Current and this and that and yada, yada, yada. So we were working hard. I'm working hard, talking to him, trying to figure out what's going on. And then once we find ends meet, then booyah, ratings, Bishop, ratings, which is all what we're all worried about here. But let's first and foremost talk about Claire Lavoisier has played her last match for the Kansas City Current. Now, with that being said, the French attacking midfielder penned a farewell letter to the Kansas City Current before the final group stage match against the Feminel against Tigers UANL. The fact of the matter is she's going back to France. She's doing her gimmick over there. Very sad to see. And the reason why it's sad to see is simply because back in 2022, she had 10 matches, 2 goals, 1 assist, 1 yellow. 2023 wasn't the best. She had 4 matches. And then, of course, 2024 this year, currently 14 matches, 2 goals, and 2 yellow. You hate to see it. You hate to see somebody who's been with the team for a couple of years and then they decide, you know, this is better off, and they depart. You hate to see that with anybody. It doesn't matter if it's soccer, if it's football, if it's baseball, whatever. You hate to see it.
Yeah. Hell, Tommy Townsend. If you
Yep.
watch that Hall of Fame game, he was in a damn Texans uniform, man. It just didn't look right, man.
Nope.
Shout out to the Hall of Fame game. I don't know if anyone watched. I definitely watched. I need football. It was a good game. Usually those games are trash. It was a good game though, so I'll say that. They got shut down by weather, but yeah, you hate to see it, man. I saw Tommy Townsend in that Texans uniform, man, and I was like, dude, what the heck? But yep, I feel you.
I understand. I understand. You know, I mean, it's we say this until we're blue in the face. You know, sports can't say sports anything. It's business, and so if somebody leaves, if somebody's cut, if somebody is fired, or whatever the case may be, you know, it's just business. It's nothing personal. And with Claire, you know, obviously, I wish her the best. Mostly because of the fact I'm biased and I took French when I was in high school. So I mean, her being a French soccer player, you know, obviously you know.
Dude, I took French. I had French from first grade all the way up to seventh grade,
Well, parlez-vous
and
français.
you would think I was fluent, right? I don't know jack shit. I did not dedicate myself, man. I wish I did. I know some, but I wish I would have dedicated myself, and I actually because I should be fluent.
You would think, but spoiler alert. Oh my goodness gracious. Um Currently right now the current is 10-1, second in the league under Orlando, which is expected. The current take on North Carolina in the Summer Cup tomorrow in the semis on Tuesday. And then if we are looking fast forward, August 14, they take on Mamelodati Sundown Ladies at 7 p.m. And then, of course, the Washington Spirit, at 11 a.m. on August 25. So there's still a good schedule coming on by. We're in August now. It seems like yesterday we were back in May. Now it's August. And the women are doing what they got to do to do battle. They're doing what they got to do battle, and that's just the basis of it. What do you how do you think, despite all of the cups and the leagues and yada 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 yada, you know, how do you think the current they're 10-1 right now? They're underneath Orlando. And we talked about this like 3 or something shows ago about how it's expected that Orlando is just that team, right? Um, how do you think the current's going to go on by for the end of the season?
Yeah, those women, the women until they are, dude. It's what you say. It's looking like hunting season, and they in the slaughter business. They
Mm-hmm.
are kicking butt, man. Like I said, that last loss against Orlando Pride, they haven't lost since this league, that summer league, Liga, whatever they call it, since that summer cup started. They've they haven't lost. They undefeated so far. Uh, and now we're coming up on the tail end of the semi. They made it to the semifinals, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They, I think tomorrow. Well, they're in the semifinals with North Carolina Courage, and that's who they take on tomorrow. North Carolina Courage. Uh, they Gotham City Football Club and Angel City Football Club are also in the semifinals. I hope they win. I think they will win. Um, just win out the whole thing. Like I said, looking at the numbers, looking at the offense that they put up so far, excuse me, in this summer cup liga, I don't see nobody getting in their way.
No,
Nobody.
no.
And shout out to Till, man. Hopefully we can get him on the show or get some audio from him so we can find out. Because I'm curious to know how he became Till, man. But yeah, so far Casey Kern is looking unstoppable. And I think when they come back after the summer league, uh, they may go on an undefeated streak again. So
We'll see what
you
happens.
never
We'll
know.
see what happens.
Yeah.
I tell you, anybody, the at least on my count, on 79 viewers right now on YouTube. If anybody knows Richard Harper, aka Teal Man, you need to let him know. Talk to your boy Franchise and get on the show because that is going to be a great segment to have him on by. Bishop, as always, we have to remind our viewers, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much for supporting the show. I know we're doing the tag team gimmick and this and that, and you know, it's been great, and we've been growing viewers and whatnot. Share with your friends, share with on your social, what have you. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, on iSportsRadio.com. Of course, you can follow us on anything podcast, so Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, all that good jazz. Go directly to iesportsradio.com/This is KC Sports, and then the big time. Follow us on the Twitter at This is KC_IESR. Follow your boy at Real Franchise, as well as follow Bishop at XRunners with a Z. Of course, we have to appreciate and respect our Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet, as well as Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Bishop, my man, great show today, man. Great show. We had a lot to talk about, and I enjoyed it thoroughly, even on 32 hours of being awake. I don't even know what day it is.
Man, what are you doing some kind of marathon or something? Or this for charity? Why you not sleeping, bro? Go to bed, man. Go to bed.
IE Sports know who they hired. They know who they hired. I'm fat. You know what? Crazy. That's just what it's all about. Shout out to Mr.
Jody.
Thank you for the swag.
Jody, tuck him in, please.
Somebody take my remote away.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Guys.
We will guys next Monday. Thank you, Kansas City. We got to tuck franchise in. Jody, can you please tuck him in? Somebody put this guy to bed, man.
Somebody call my mama. Because this kid is out. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night. Jody, I'm going back.
Good night, mate. Peace out.